It is our red Protoss representing Jin Air Green Wings. It is Trap. And to the left-hand side here of Catalina as our blue Zerg. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dark.
Dark against Protoss seems to be a big fan of the pull first, rather, than to play greedy with a hatch first, sometimes double hatch before pull. He seems to quite like the pull first, sometimes even with the gas. I've seen him go for, gas 14, pull 14, get that link speed out early on, have a lot of initiative, go for aggression if he wants to. Whereas for Trap, he's definitely going to want to play, with that cheekiness that he has in him, that he brings a lot up when he's playing against Terran, where he was playing the mind games very efficiently, changing build every single game. So as much as we see him open with the gateway first here in this game, I can promise you that we're going to see some Forge first from him, sometimes even maybe some Nexus first. And interesting scouting route here. He went down on the top right, bottom right-hand side, or middle right. He saw there was no overload, so he's like, well, if he was on the bottom right-hand side and scouted at the top first, I would have seen it. So he checks on the left now, and he's going to be able to see that Dark actually went for a hatch first in this game, which I do think he's going to go for a pull behind this, especially upon seeing that probe.
Good scouting there by Trap overall, and even trying to put the fear of God into Dark here to start things off with that pylon going down, pulling off a few drones to try and counter that.
This needs to be respected here, because Trap, more often than not, is actually going to be cannon rushing here. But the one time that you pull drones, of course, is the time he doesn't have a Forge, and he strict you already in the game.
And even blocking that small little crevasse underneath all of this with one drone on patrol, making sure nothing crazy is going to happen. But obviously, the mind game's already beginning for Trap in this series.
Do you know why he let it finish? Because he wanted to put even more fear in Dark's eye. He says, well, I'm starting my Nexus behind this. I'm hoping you're going to pull even more drones. You're going to panic. And in the end, I guess Dark didn't, so maybe not that worth it. Well, I guess those drones stayed down a very long time, especially those two that are still down there, so that was definitely nice on Trap.
Yeah, 4 drones being off mining there for that long a period of time is almost like 100 minerals worth of income per minute, and they were down there for about a minute in game. So that is not too bad a trade there for Trap, who, as you said, back home, he's just playing pretty economically. He's got his 2 gas geysers up and running, and we'll be getting plenty of gas coming in for that pylon at the back. No doubt to throw down some tech pretty soon.
Great mathematics, Skylars. Thank you.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Stargate from Trap back, in the MLG Anaheim days, which he won. He played a few very epic games. I think he had an insane series. I think it was against Scarlet, and there was a lot of Stargate usage, usually with an Oracle. He's very good with Oracles. Again, this is the wing commander we're talking about, and not just against Terran, against Zerg. He can do a lot of damage with his Oracle as well, fly it around, not flying into a spore. And just wouldn't be surprised in general if he went for something like that. So far, it's only a Stalker and a Mothership core that are being made, which might indicate he wants to go for a little bit of an aggression with those, fully knowing that there's still no spin on the way, because he did confirm there was no extractor made early on.
2 are just going to go down now. Pylon down to the bottom left-hand corner here for Trap, and Dark.
Second Stalker being corner boosted out. Trap is very serious here about this aggression.
The rerouting of the Overlord down to the bottom might not actually spot that pylon. It's going to be very close. Oh, okay, he spots the probe.
Yeah, but not the pylon. The probe here doesn't... Oh my God.
There you go, there's the pylon. It was on a slight angle.
So. If he sends links there, and he's getting 10 links, he saw the pylon. Oh my God. And this is bad for Trap.
I think he just revealed. He just revealed from the vision through that pylon that there was an Overlord there, but was he paying attention to it? Because he could just let that finish. There's 12 links on the way already here to deny any kind of harassment at the front.
Trap wants to go for some Oracle here. This is going to be a single Stargate with an Oracle that he wants to get into the main with very, very quickly. He made that out on the map, because if Dark had gone for an Overlord sacrifice in Trap's main, then he would have seen nothing. And Dark is gearing up for a counter-attack here, possibly with the Zerglings.
And the entire main of wall, the natural wall is open. There is speed only just started a little while ago, so it's not going to be done anytime soon, but this is a lot of damage on this hatchery.
The wall off back at home.
He needs to get going.
It's not up. He has a sentry for force field. Trap needs to react quickly.
He could force field this. He's going to lose that Stalker at the front. Drops down one of those gateways extra and will be able to wall it off for a little bit longer. The two Queens, though, should be able to push away this Mothership Core.
Oh, they're blocking each other.
If you could save that, that would be amazing. But I think the Mothership Core should be able to eventually kill that off. There's not extra force fields, though, as the probes actually have to come off the line to deal with these Zerglings.
Oh my
and
God.
that's a great trade there for Dark.
He lost 3 probes here.
But he lost the hatchery to the Mothership Core as well.
And Dark is getting spores now. Are they going to be late now? The Oracle actually doesn't fly right into the main immediately. Evo Chamber, double Evo Chamber. It's going down,
He doesn't have
actually.
another force field. He needs to open another sentry. The probes come off the line again. He's already on top of the sentry as the force field will end up landing.
How did this happen? Trap was
I don't
supposed to
know.
wall it back off.
This is all a bit crazy here at the start of this best of 5. Lost a lot of sentries during that engagement. Lost his Mothership Core. It's a lot of gas that's gone down for Trap.
You know
with
what's
the trades
funny?
he's gone for.
Trap thinks he's hiding a second Oracle here.
Yeah, and now it's...
When Dark was seeing this being made the whole time, so he knows that there is 2 Oracles out right now. Let's see if the Wing Commander can get back to dealing damage here with his favorite units.
Let's see. There are vulnerability points here, as he already gets himself a few drones to start things off with these Oracles. Even flies straight into the range of that Spore Crawler. Has to be careful. The Queen does provide a little bit mobile anti-air here, which kind of cause problems. Very long range on those Queens.
5 snipes already on these drones. 48 probes to 47 drones, and still the third base only about to finish when it was remade from Dark. So Trap in not too bad of a position, but I guess tech-wise, I mean, he really doesn't have much. He's only on the 1 forge, getting the +1. He's getting Twilight Council behind this, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a third base, a lot of Blink Stalkers and Sentries.
Well, at least we've kind of got stability in this game now. Both players at least have a good economy going behind this, 50 workers to 53 workers. Those Oracles are still poking around.
Yeah.
But Dark is doing a good job of keeping his eyes on the front of the base and making sure no probes extra are moving out and trying to take an expansion.
You know, Dark, what I've seen from him in the past was that he likes the 1 Evo with the missile attacks. But in this game, he's playing it very differently. He went for double Evo, and he's getting the melee attacks upgrade. So I wonder what's his plan here. There is a chance he might want to go into Swarmost and use the links down on the map for the mobility. He could go, you know, for Roach Link 4 now and then do a transition. He could go into Hive very quickly. He can do pretty much anything from there. Maybe not Mutas, because I guess he's investing a lot into those upgrades for the Zerglings, and it wouldn't make that much sense to spend that much gas for those upgrades.
Dropping down the Envision will kill off some of this creep at the front and making it a little bit easier for him to encroach onto Dark territory here on the left-hand side. He may have been gearing up to even deny a third with those melee upgrades.
Yeah.
Those links could always work out well if he'd have spotted one on the right-hand side as
Trap
a third,
is actually up to 7 gates, Kailash.
Uh-oh.
Dark is going to need a lot of units to hold on this aggression. And actually, Trap is setting up in a position where he could start on force fielding the ramps or a lot of those units off.
It's all about the space control of the sentries first and then the stalkers afterwards. He does slow down some force fields, denying some of his units being killed off here, but he has to slow down the progression of these roaches at the front, and he does cut up quite a few of them, but he's slowly running out of some of the force fields.
Dark evacuates even though 6 force fields were used here. This is a disaster here for Trap. He's going to get chased down. The Mothership Core gets sniped as well.
And he still has a few force fields remaining to be able to hold that off, but behind this, Robo Facility's on the way. A few extra zealots plus 2 weapons. It looks like he's abandoned this assault plan for now.
One thing that I've seen Dark do very well in the past is get Burrow very quickly in game. So far in this game, he's not getting it, but I think it would be very good if he could have gone for Burrow and Tunneling Klaus at the same time. The thing is, he actually doesn't really have that much gas. He's only mining out of 2 gases. He forgot to mine out of one of the ones that he has in the main. He's totally forgot about that.
It's the one that the Oracle actually killed workers off at, so
he forgot
lost
to
them and never put it
resaturate
back in.
This is massive here. He's missing on a lot of gas. 800 minerals, 100 gas, Kailash.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. The Oracles are still doing some damage here and there, getting themselves a few drones. He's actually got around 12 worker kills at the moment amongst these Oracles, so not doing too badly.
He needs to fix that. He needs to fix that ASAP. Dark is gonna need gas.
No Queen extra to finish that Oracle off. Adding on another gas elsewhere. His army is moving through the middle of the map, and these Zerglings may have just spotted that, but there is an opening in that wall. But they decide not to take it. Cannon will be able to fend them off.
Yeah, Trap was kind of faking that he may take a third here. I mean, you could have even started it and not really have any intention to use it for now while it's making, and you know, go on for even more aggression with the amount of stalkers that he has, which is pretty massive, by the way. He's up to 18 stalkers against 30 roaches, and he's gonna have +2 in a second. I think Dark realizes what's happening and that he's going to be mostly only Stalkers for now, and he gets Pathogen Glance. If he can get a few Infestors out,
cut some of these roaches off and will trap them on this side, but he is losing some sentries for that. As catches a few of those, he's taking the third base behind this, but Pathogen Glance being on the way, as you mentioned, eventually just rips this army apart, right?
Yeah, the thing is, Dark is still so short on gas. He hasn't saturated one of the extractors on his third base and the one in the main still. The longer it takes to saturate that, the more he's going to regret it. I mean, the more gas you can get as a Zerg, the scarier you get.
Yeah. That will present a little bit of a problem, as Trap now is going to go on the offensive on another angle. I mean, what Trap needs to do if he wants to go through the middle is get one of these oracles envisioned and actually kill off some of this creep, because it is becoming a little bit of a problem to ever push forwards through, but the third base now, it looks like, has become his main focal point.
I don't think he has to get Infestors, actually. Like, with hollowing he's on gas, it will be, you know, he will wreck his gas economy. He's just going to get 2, I think, for safety, just to make sure he can hold the Stalkers in place if he were to be attacked soon. And the Hive is, I think, supposedly here, is going to be to get Vipers, possibly transition into, you know, something like Ultras. One thing that Dark does very often, more often than other Zergs, and Snoot kind of talked about that, is that he gets Broodlords, kind of, you know, in a Wing of Liberty-ish style. He gets Broodlords very quickly, and then he hits this timing where most Protosses are like, Broodlords are still in this game, and then they kind of die. If you don't have Tempest, it's very tough to deal with them.
If he's going to do that, I wonder where his Aspire is going to be. He's going to throw it down. Pretty soon, misses one of the fungal goes. Second one will end up hitting, and the Queens are on the pursuit. So all of this will die off. Good cleanup by Dark eventually after losing a few drones.
He finally fixed the walkers on the gas in the main, even with 4. So overdoing it, but still at a third base. He's only mining out of 5 gases. Ultralis Cavern, Kylaris.
Yeah.
Those upgrades.
There was only one Immortal actually mixed in there, so maybe he doesn't really have full information as to what's going on. If he actually clicked on those Zerglings and saw once the +2 finishes up, he may be able to read into that a little bit more as to what's going on. He saw the Hive morphing in, and he hasn't found a Spire just yet.
Trap is not putting in the biggest effort to try and scout exactly what he's up to. He's only got his Oracle across the map, which for now is going to be enough, I guess. And both players right now, I don't feel like they really have a plan. Like, Trap might be planning a timing here and there, but Dark, you know, I think he's waiting to see exactly what he's up against. I think he's going to want to look to trade the units that he has out on the map, which are only, you know, Zerglings and Roaches, and that in a long game are going to be much weaker. But he needs to be cost effective a minimum with him. He needs to do a lot of damage, because if they die doing absolutely nothing, this is not going to be good.
It was a good block at the natural. The third base was under assault. Really loses one gateway, blinks onto some of those roaches, cleans those up. He's coming in from the back of this army. He could actually get quite a good trade here. He's trying to block them. He blinks forwards. He's going to get a good trade regardless. That army has to get out of there for Dark.
Trap is going to re-attack on the right-hand side with more roaches, but with the double cannons here, and even the photon overcharge available, shouldn't do any damage. And he's actually going on the offense here. He knows that behind his Trap, he knows that Dark is going to be going for a tier 3 army, maybe Broodlords, maybe Ultras. He's going to be getting Vipers as well. He does not want to give him any time.
You're right, you can't just be on Ling and Roach for up to the 20-minute mark here as Dark. There has to be an alternate plan going on. He will catch more of these units. Good force fields, stealing some of those Roaches, picking those off. And now this is a prime opportunity for Trap to actually do something, maybe push on forwards, maybe do a bit of damage here. But Ultralists are popping, Kaisenus Plating's on the way as well. And that army is looking scary. There's a lot of transfusers, there's a lot of Infestors for fungal growth.
Dark is playing with very little information here. Maybe a revelation on this army will reveal basically the whole composition against which he would decide whether he wants to attack or not. But I know he's just going to go for the fight.
Guardian shields are up, able to abduct. He actually fungled a lot of that army in place. The Ultralisk getting right up against it here. Lishakov will end up eventually joining this fight, but the Ultras still powering on forwards. There's still a lot of transducers available here as the Queens in tandem with these Ultras chase it down. One of the Colossus end up falling. The second one's going to go down as well. It's hard for them to retreat out up to the high ground now to get out of this position as Dark really presented a wall for him to crash up against.
Trap supply disappears so fast. He's down to 100 supply, and he has really not that much economy behind this. He has a lot of gas, so he could go for Archons, just turtle a little bit with Immortals, but I'm pretty sure that Dark is not just going to be staying on this army. Surely he's going to want to look to maybe add something else to his composition, but I guess Ultras plus Vipers and Infestors is going to be very, very strong regardless if he can get as much of that as he can.
Feels he can't break through. Dark Templar's
Oh my
going to go
God.
up to the 4th base and
they
at the
go
3rd
again.
base as well. Onto that Spore Crawler. Overseer's actually morphing in. Does he have any fungals or anything? He could actually reveal that. He only has 1 Infestor available to him, so he's going to have to wait for proper detection. But they're going hell for leather on that, and unfortunately, there are plenty of transfuses there, so the Dark Templars, they will not get that proper...
That's 4th base, man. 13 kills already. Trap finding him a lot of success with those Dark Templars, both against Terran and now against Zerg as well. Still, he's quite a bit down in supply. Getting the Templar Archives now and pumping out 2 Immortals at the time. I wonder if Dark's actually going to attack or just wait here.
He may. I mean,
to attack.
Trap's army right now isn't really looking too fresh. Not too fresh at all. Dark's army supply is almost doubling it. So that really does cause a lot of issues here for Trap, who is going to be pinned back for a long time.
2 Immortals, now 3 to 9 Ultra Skylaris.
It's not enough.
Dark's timing is going to expire very quickly if he doesn't attack very soon. Or I guess he could just turtle and tech to Brewlaws, but he's taken quite a bit of damage from these Dark Templars here.
I mean, that's a great move to make. If you do have a little bit of economy available to you, whilst you have this window to actually tech up yourself, your opponent is preparing for the Ultralisks, which is the Immortal.
Oh, there's no recall.
Uh-oh.
There's no recall. If he gets caught here, Trap cannot pull back.
But the Queens are not with these Ultralisks. I think he needs them with him. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. They do now plod on forwards, and they're slowly getting towards this army. Trap's time is slowly coming here. He's going to have to take a fight very, very soon. He's separating himself up into a concave.
6 Immortals, Skylaris. Looking for the feedbacks.
Might be quite a lot. Might be enough here to get rid of this. He actually will drop a few fungal growths on the middle of that army. The Ultralists trying to power through, but the Immortals not doing too bad at the back there, powering away at some of those Ultralists. But here come the transfuses. There's not that much firepower left here, though, for Dark, who felt that his time was now, but all of his Ultralisks have gone down. Trap will hold. Trap will power through these Queens, and Dark is now in a world of hurt.
Dark completely missing his timing here. There was a time he had 9 Ultras against just 2 Immortals. He waited until there was 6 Immortals to finally attack. And his attack just got crushed. There was no pulling back with the Queens being so slow off creep. So now all of a sudden, Trap is thinking about just counter-attacking and ending it before letting Dark recover. And I think he might just do it.
Yeah, 7 Ultralisks are on the way, but they're all going to be popping at alternate locations all over the place. So once they do, there is the potential here that if Trap finds himself in a good spot next to one of these hatcheries, he can pick off units as they come.
He's pulling the probes.
Uh-oh. Well, you know, we don't see that too often. Trap is just going to keep on going through, trying to get straight to the natural, going for the jugular. There's quite a few Ultralisks there, but still the Immortals are behind a thick wall of Stalkers. They actually blink back to try and keep themselves alive, but the Immortals are the important units here to bring down all those Ultralisks. There's still a lot of energy on the Queens. 4 transfuses, they weren't up to the left-hand side to help out those Ultras, but this one survives for quite a long time, doing a lot of damage. It's going to bring down a Colossus very close, but it manages to go up to the high ground, ends up falling in the end. This is so scrappy, but in the end, Trap has been completely cleaned up.
This is it. This was an all-in. This was Trap's entire army. And these soppy Ultralisks, man, just not dying or dealing so much damage before finally dying.
He had to hit. He had to hit when all those Ultralisks were in production.
Yeah.
So he had to get over there as quickly as possible. He didn't find the opportunity, and now he has got nothing to his name. He's down a 60 supply at this point.
He's got something. He's got the Desperation DT Skylars, which have done him wonders in the past. But I don't think will this time, because Dark, he has Infestors, he has a lot of Ultras, he's getting Vipers, he's got an Overseer as well. And even if those DTs get a few snipes here and there, I really don't think it's going to be enough. They could. Are they going for the hatch? Yeah, I think they might just.
I think they may. I
Even
think they
then,
may.
though.
Spore Crawler then hatch, whatever they want to do, it doesn't really matter. It looks like they're going to be able to get that one. So a good pickup here for Trap to try and bring himself back into it. But now he has to buy even more time. 2 Dark Templars for the hatchery. 3 Dark Templars for the hatchery with the fungal landing as well. GG. Dark takes game number 1. A back and forth struggle there between the two. But Dark's play, the Ultralist transition, the power of the replenishment there from Dark was victorious.
The lone Zerg in the round of 8. He wants to make it to the finals. He wants that title. And as I said, he's been impressing me. And even though he missed his timing, and then it was, I guess, Dark who attacked a little bit late. Even Trap, he didn't particularly have to take that fight this early. He could have just massed on Immortals and Archons and taken a much better fight.
All right, well, let's get into it. Game number 2 now on Overgrowth, as we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner as our red Protoss representing Jin Green Wings. It is Trap. Down to the bottom left-hand corner. Blue Zerg representing SKT. It is Dark.
By the look of things, another gateway opener is in the plans here for Trap, most likely. Maybe with the Nexus first. And I'm actually a little bit surprised. From Trap here, I would have expected some kind of Forge play, maybe, you know, a bit of a cannon rush. Dark, already moving out with a drone. Maybe a bit of a proxy hatch here, maybe a Cats build.
Or maybe wanting to get confirmation of what he's doing really early, because what we saw from Trap in game number 1 was that pylon going down, him being a little bit tricky, him faking him out. Dark saying, you're not going to do that twice, my friend.
That was so fortunate, by the way, for Dark. He was completely ready. Imagine if he hadn't seen that and hadn't made Spores, which against the Wing Commander is kind of suicidal. But the one time you get them, that's when he's not making the Stargates.
And second drone goes down to the natural, so it's not going to be a proxy hatchery in his opponent's base, or opponent's natural even, I should say, as that drone will just look to try and delay things going on, or even just run away, whatever he wants to do.
For the second time in a row, Trap here is just open with a gateway and scouts.